And of course, he has visited, many of you know him, he has visited United Kingdom at least twice before. And since he was visiting us, we took this opportunity to arrange this. It was a very hectic schedule for them, but still, they very kindly enough, all the Swamis agreed to attend the devotees in the retreat and the memorial meeting, about which I was just about to mention, to our revered Swami Tripuranandaji Maharaj, who was one of the oldest monks to join the Vedanta Center when it was in Muswell Hill. That's the first place where the center started. Then it shifted to Holland Park, and then we had a retreat center in Devon also simultaneously. But finally in '77 we came to this place. So it's a great privilege to have so many Swamis from different continents. As I said, from India, Asia, we have Revered Swami Bodhisattva Maharaj, and all of them will be addressing in the course of the spiritual retreat and also in the memorial meeting briefly. Then we have Revered Swami Amarananda Maharaj, who has come all the way. He, in fact, and Swami Tripuranandaji, they were together in the training center in Belur Math. So we are very happy, Maharaj, that you could make it, even if it is for a brief period, to address not only the spiritual gathering but also in the memorial meeting for Revered Swami Tripuranandaji, when he will share his experiences with him. He had a long association with him in Europe as well. So we are very happy. He is the head of our Center Védantique in Geneva for a very long time. It's one of the senior most monks in Europe. Then we have, so we are very happy that he will address us in this spiritual retreat as well as in the memorial meeting, which begins at 3:30. We have Revered Swami Nirmalatmanandaji Maharaj, who has come all the way from Brazil. So we have representation from South America also. And Revered Maharaj has been for a very, very long time in Brazil and started so many wonderful centers there. The recent one being Rio and other places in Brazil. So we'll also be hearing him and also in the memorial session. Then we have Revered Swami Atmarupanandaji Maharaj, who has recently taken charge of our center in France, the Greats in France. And he is also, we are happy, though everybody was busy with Holy Mother's celebration, which will be coming soon, but all of them have kindly agreed to come. They will be addressing us, spiritual retreat as well as the memorial meeting. And finally, last but not the least, we have Swami Shanti Vratananda from our new center in Dublin, in Ireland. So he will also be addressing the gathering. I'll give the detailed introduction later on. So let us not waste time, but start the proceedings. We are already late. So I once again heartily welcome all the Swamijis who have come and made this event possible. It was not planned earlier, but somehow by Thakur's grace we could arrange this meeting. Especially I thought of having a good beginning for the 75th anniversary of our Ramakrishna Vedanta Center. So Revered Swami Ishatmananda, all of you know, is from Chicago, our Vivekananda Vedanta Society of Chicago, and he has been there for quite some time, extensively traveling all over America and also all over the world. So all of you, many of you have heard him online. Most of the Swamis have heard online. So I would request him to speak on a very important topic. He will be addressing us on a very important topic, the goal of human life.
I was thinking he will forget me. So good that he turned left. I'm so happy to see all of you and the Swamijis, my respected Swamijis, dear Swamijis, and dear devotees and friends. So, this is a very holy place. The first time when I visited, I entered into that door and immediately saw that beautiful shrine, and all lights were off, only Sri Ramakrishna, Ma and Shanti, the enlightened. So as if those enlightened, the images, if it is within our heart, the life goal is achieved. So this is our goal to achieve in the human life. Long back, after addressing the problems like the food, clothing, and shelter, a group of people, they started thinking and researching on three questions. Ko ayam, who am I? Kuto ayata, from where I have come. Kaba gati me, where I am going to go. What is the goal of my life? These are the three questions they were researching. And after a long research, and they were researching everything, and then found out so many things, that this whole thing that we see is nothing but the 5 elements. So the Panchatattva. So when we are doing the Arati, all Hindu temple, they'll be showing the Panchatattva. So they discovered that. Then they started researching their own body. Who am I? Is this the body? Am I? The mind? And then finally they reached to that ultimate goal. And they burst out into joy and said, Srindantu Vishye Amritasya Putraha. They call the human being, the beings as the children of immortal bliss. So what is the source? Bliss. The bliss is the source. That is the goal. And Upanishad also we find the Anandeva Khalu Imani Bhutani Jayante. From the Ananda, from that bliss, all of us, everything has been created. So they could somehow point out that way, and they could address in that way, give a name Ananda. Then they researched and found there are 3 common things in each and every being. No one wants to die. Everyone wants to know. And each and every one's like to become happy. These are the 3 common things in each and every one. Then naturally, the creator must be having these 3 qualities. Because if you are creating some sweets out of the sugar, it must be surely the sweet. The creator is having this Sat, Chit, Ananda. These are the 3 qualities. We are also having the same. We don't like to die. We like to know everything. And at the same time, we like to get the joy. What is the goal of our life? Usually, in India, they always will ask the children to become a doctor, an engineer, an officer. You should have these, you should have that. And sometimes in Andaman, I used to tell our orphan boys, whenever there will be, the VIPs are going with siren and the light flashing, they'll be going to see. I told you have to become like that. So the other people will come to see. This is the way we always inspire. But ultimately, when we grow older, then we find, no, that is nothing. Even if you go to the President of America, at this moment, he is the most powerful person. If you go and ask, sir, I am not going to disclose anyone. Are you happy? He will say, are you mad? Because after 2 years, again, I have to compete. I do not know. And he is also not happy. Then who is happy? The happiness cannot be achieved from the external world. That is proved. External world cannot give us the happiness. We were so excited to go and to enjoy the London Eye. So it is so beautiful. And one of the devotees, he arranged everything. We went and we sat and we went up and we came down. Again in the same crowd. Again in the same way we were in the chill. So it goes and then comes back, and it is all temporary. Everything is temporary. And sometimes I used to wonder, in Delhi, there's a Red Fort, is a very famous in India. We went and purchased a 10 rupee ticket. At that time it was 10 rupee. So, and I entered everywhere we could visit, including the places where all the queens they used to live and all that, and nothing, no problem, 10 rupee, you can go. But when we were standing on that parapet and I was looking at that, then I was imagining hundreds and thousands of the Marathas, the heroes, they are coming, they are giving their life only to enter into that. And then so many from the Rajasthan, Rajput, they came, they also gave their life, they could not enter. But now, 10 rupee. And you're welcome. So time changes. It is so temporary. It's so temporary. But the problem is, we always think this is permanent. My grandfather passed away, and the father, then the father passed away, then me. But we always think, I am going to survive. This is the problem, and I have to acquire this land, I have to acquire that property, I have to name, fame, this, that. If somebody is criticizing me, yesterday I was reading a newspaper that one young lady, hardly 16, in school somebody said something, and the teachers also believed and criticized, and she committed suicide. After a few years, where will be these friends? They remain nowhere. So this is our life's experience. Life's experience. When we were children in the school, the sports day, we had a game that you have to keep a cup on the head and run. I was always failure at that, but I used to always, holding the cup in the hand, I used to run. Then after reaching there, I put it over there. It is not balancing here what to do, but I like to take that part. Where are those games? Where are those friends who achieved the first position and the others were, hey, see, he is successful? Where are those? So many things in the life we find it is all going away, all temporary, temporary, temporary. But still we are thinking it is permanent. Why? That is the power of God. God has created us out of his own being, because God is only alone. There is no two. Ekam, eva, advityam. They said ekam, but they were not satisfied. Eka means there is a conception of two. They said advityam, no two. When there is no two, what remains? That. So ekam, eva, advityam, this is our goal. We are only one. And how he has created? Since he was only one, how he has created? Out of his own. Because there is no two. And here, most of the philosophers are a little bit confused. And all this philosophy is only to answer this. Creator, creation, and the relation between the creator and the creation. So, Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya, and they're all different type of opinions are coming. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna very categorically, he mentioned two things. In the beginning of his ministry, he said, Ishwar Labh Manushya Jivaner Uddeshya. The God realization is the goal of every human being, God realization. And at the end of his life, 1886, 1st January, he said, Tumader Chaitanya Hok. May you all be illumined. So that is that. We have to understand who we are. Am I this body? Whenever I say I, we always point this finger to the I. One of the Swamiji was telling, that I told Swamiji why we are putting out this finger particularly, index finger, when you are taking the japa, doing the japa. He said this finger is used to point all your fault, you are in fault, like that. So perhaps the Hindus never liked this finger. So this finger they never use this in the holy thing. So the index finger. And one of our Swamiji was the President Maharaj of Advaita Ashram. And when I was complaining, I was telling Maharaj, this was doing days like that. And he, very humble way, he was looking at me. And ultimately, when I stopped, he said, did you notice? Your only finger is pointing like this, but all the three fingers is pointing to you. You are saying he is in fault, he is in fault. Actually, you are in fault, you are in fault. All your three fingers are saying. That's true. These are the spiritual teachings. When I am going to criticize someone, am I aware about my shortfalls? What is that? That I am nothing but God. Why should I behave like this? If a king is crying, oh, I want that, I want this, what will happen? No, we are the children of immortal bliss. Up to this is okay. The God realization is the goal. But the second is how to realize the God. Then is it an object that we will go and pick it up? That we can go and lot of things that we will donate some of the people. So really I wonder, one of our political, the leader, not from his own pocket, from his government exchequer only, he spent a lot of money to give gold and jewelries to some god. Is God so fool that he is not looking at, hey, you are taking from him and giving to me? How can the God be so happy? But this person is so satisfied, I have given the gold to God, God must be happy with me. And suppose the result is not as you was thinking, then you will complain the God, you will change the God. The Ganesha is not giving the success, so let me go to Kartikeya. Okay. So like that, no, it is not. So these are the things we should understand so clearly so that we can reach to the ultimate goal. The goal is God. And what is that God? We will come to that. But what are the practices and how we can practice? There are so many ways. So many ways. One young girl has come to our ashram, and now and then he will stand and he'll look at the sky and he's quiet. I don't know what happened, why you were walking and suddenly stopped and what you were doing. No, you see, my guru asked me to contemplate now and then. I told, you will make accident because some other people are walking at your back. So at least go by side of the road and then you'll be looking at the sky and I'm imbibing the energy, and it's a good energy, bad energy, and oh my God, so many things are there. So, okay, no problem, but don't disturb others. So when nobody is there, then you take whatever energy you like. So many different types of things are happening. But Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is very, very clear. And what he said, go to a holy person. Who is a holy person? Who has already achieved all those things. So he can guide you. Not all people are holy people. And how we will know? In the Bhagavata, the Bhagavan Sri Krishna, he is telling the Uddhava. Uddhava is going on asking, if you are not here, what will happen to me? And ultimately then, this is, you go to a holy person. Learn from him. And who is a holy person? Then he is giving a beautiful list, wonderful list. Anyone who wants to become a spiritual, must read those and try to imbibe those, the wonderful qualities. And in Bhagavad Gita also, the 16th chapter, first 3 verses, 26 qualities. That is spirituality. That is religion. That we have to achieve. Not that I have seen the light on that corner. In Cherrapunji, so we went to one teacher's house. They invited us for Sadhu Bhandara. The Swami Gokulananda ji and Shantarupananda ji, myself and other 3 brahmacharis. We all went. The lady of the house, she was excited to tell the Swamiji, when I sit on this particular bed, we were sitting on that. So I meditate and I see the blue light coming. We were excited. We were young. Is it? You see the blue light? Shantarupananda ji said, which side you are facing? And this side. Okay. Which day? Practically every day? No. When there is a function in the shrine, in our ashrama, that day, actually in Cherrapunji, and on the top of the shrine, there is a light, blue light that will be on, so the people around will know something, celebration is going on. That percolates through the tin shade, there is a small hole, and she sees that light. Then the next time in the function, try to imagine. But we didn't disclose all these things, but he was telling, seeing the light, okay, you see the light. What happens then? It encourages you that much. That is not the goal. What is the goal? Love and unselfishness. Swami Vivekananda said, unselfishness is God. Very, very clear. So you need not to talk about other things. Unselfish. Are you unselfish? Swami Ranganathanji also used to say, every evening you have to ask yourself, am I a better person than yesterday? So that is the way we grow. How to achieve those? Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, only 4 steps. The first is sadhu sangha, satsanga. You have to go to a holy person who has already achieved that. And this holy person is not having any his agenda. Oh, my number is increasing, so donation will increase, and nothing like that. The holy person only thinks about the other people. Oh, they are suffering. How can I help them? And sometimes some young people, they come and they are not successful in their exams. And if we go on talking about the Brahman, Vedanta, that will be wrong. At that time, you have to say that you have many other qualities. The self-confidence, that is also the Vedanta. Swami Vivekananda's Vedanta always teaches us self-confidence, not ego, self-confidence. Many can do, you too can do. Bahunamemi pratama, bahunamemi madhyama. Kim sid yamasya kartavyam. In the Upanishad, Swamiji used to say, Swami Vivekananda again and again, you can do it. That is the Vedanta. I'm not going to harm anyone. I'm not going to do any wrong anything, but I can do it myself. If I am not good in this subject, I am good in this. So I will try to improve that one, self-confidence. So that is the first thing. When you go to a sadhu, he will tell you. He will ask you, but this is the way you should grow. And then after that, you will know about the God. And you will know what is this God. And there are only 2 things. One is spirit and another is flesh. This world and God. Only 2 things. Now we are standing, particularly we the human beings, standing on the threshold of these 2. If you go to the world, you go to the world created by God, but all are temporary. You can enjoy for temporary, then afterwards you will suffer. But there is another way. And not that flowery way, but you can go to that and you will get liberation. All sufferings will go away. Everything that you want, everything you will get. The goddess Kali, sometimes in the Dakshineshwar, if you see the images of goddess Kali, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna worshipped that goddess Kali, Dakshina Kali. In the right hand, if you see that in the right hand, she is showing like this. I am the mother. You need not to worry about anything. So right hand. And another right hand, she is showing, whatever you want, you can get it from here. I want success. I want the good health. I want this way and that way to be successful. Mother says, okay, no problem. But did you notice at the left side? The same mother in the left hand, she is holding a sword and the shavered head. Oh my God, completely different. And if you go and say, Mother, give me mukti, come to the left. And then he will say, take this sword and cut your ego. And then only, what is the head? Head is the symbol of knowledge, symbol of intellect. And there a jackal is sitting and asking the mother, can you please give that head to me, that knowledge to me? Mother said, it is not for you. It's so symbolic. Wonderful symbol. That is the goddess Kali. And people are criticizing goddess Kali. In America, one place I went, I saw in Hindu temple, all gods and goddesses except Kali. I said, why not Mother Kali? Oh, Ma, Swamiji, don't talk about. Because she's cutting the heads of dead people who will think something else. Okay, no problem. So this is the wrong understanding. If you want mukti, you have to cut your ego. If you want to enjoy this world, no problem. Go forward, enjoy. And your goal should be to be on the top of the list of all the rich people. Okay, no problem. But afterwards you will find nothing you are achieving. So this is through the experience. A person has experienced and he has withdrawn all his senses from the sense objects. And he has achieved that wonderful peace. Nothing can give you. That is the peace, the joy, the happiness. So when we can have that, that is called sadhu sangha. long back, we were brahmacharis in the training center in Belur Math, and at the time of Durga Puja, the brahmacharis are having different type of the duties, and they will be collecting the donations also. Thousands of people are coming. They like to give some donation where they will give the donation. So the brahmacharis will be in different corners and they will collect the money and issue the receipt. So me and other two brahmacharis, we were sitting near the outside the office shop, that revered Bharat Maharaj, many of you may know. And inside there were three people. Bharat Maharaj was talking to them. The one was that time the very beautiful, the actress, Bengali actress, Suchitra Sen. The Suchitra Sen was there, and the very powerful writer, he was also there, and another, the governor of Punjab, he was also there. So when we were busy, then suddenly one young boy came and he told, can I ask you a question? The three of us were very angry. Now asking question, what question? Then he said, why you have become the sadhu? Why you have become the monk? Then other two said, hey, go away, now we are busy. Then I thought, let me give some answer. I said, behind this door, there are three people. One is beautiful, physical beauty. That is what the human being want. Suchitra Sen. If it is announced, people will leave the mandir and they will all come over here to see her. The actresses. Second is so powerful writer. Even the Prime Minister of India is afraid of him, Barun Sengupta. And third is the representative of the government. These are the three things the people they want. But these three people have come to a person who is not that way physically very good looking. Bharat Maharaj was not. And education, no, that is also not. And good talking, no. He only in single syllable he used to talk. So that much. Come, go. That's all. So then why these people are here and sitting before him and hours together? There must be something special in this man. He has no physical beauty. He has no money or power. He has no intellectual power. But still he is having something which these three people are not having. And that is peace. That is happiness. That is joy. And to achieve that, to get that, I have become monk. So ultimate goal, Ma Sharadamani Devi said, Jodi Shanti Pete Chao. Jodi, optional. If you say, no, Ashanti is good for me, okay, no problem. Continue. And Jyoti Shanti Pete Chao, if you really like to get peace, then what you should do? Love everyone. Adveshta Sarva Bhutani, Maitra Karuna Evacha, Nirmama Nirahamkara, Samadukka Shukha Sami, Santushta Satatam Yogi, Yatatma Didhanishchayaha. Mayarpita mano buddhi yo mat bhakta sami priya. The God, he's saying, I love that particular person who is having these qualities. First and foremost, he is equal to everyone. That's why the Swamis, the sannyasis, they never, Swami Vivekananda himself asked us not to get involved with the politics. Why? There's a power game. Politics means I need power. I'm a politician, but I don't need power. That is foolishness. I'm a sannyasi, but I need power. That is also another foolishness. So this is the way we have to think, friends. The first is sadhu sangha. We learn this. Second, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, go to a nirjan vas. Nirjan vas, very quietly you will go, and you have to go on pondering whatever I have learned. How much I can apply right this moment, and how I can apply. Second. Third, when you are having that nirjan bhasha and pondering over the teachings, and then vichara, discriminating, it is true, this is that. But suppose I give away everything, I myself will be a beggar, depending on somebody else's house. Then, no, I cannot do like that. I have to help myself first. And again, I will do like this. This much is sufficient for me. After that, whatever. So this is the way you are discriminating. A monk can do like this, but I cannot. The one of the person, he was, Swamiji, I will go with you. You will lose your job. Now the recession is coming. Everybody is losing the job. Be careful. For us, there is no recession. We can go away. And even when you were going, not even the asama money is we are spending. Some devotee is giving. Who will spend for you? So don't follow like the monk. You be responsible for your own duty. Again comes swadharma. In Bhagavad Gita, very strong word he has used, the Sri Krishna. Swadharme nidhanam sreya paradharma bhayabha. If a sannyasi is behaving like a householder, bhayabha, terrible. And is a householder behaving like a sannyasi, again bhayabha. A person came to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna and he was following him. After 2-3 days, he noticed him and said, hey, what you are doing? You have the family? Yes. Children? Yes. Who is going to feed them? Go back. And that is your duty, swadharma. So that we have to. And finally, sadhu sangha, nirjan bash, then vichara, prarthana. This prayer, praying to myself. And if you are going through the path of knowledge, it is only you. There is no one to help you. No guru, no God. The path of knowledge is like that. You cannot take any help. But the path of bhakti, there is God. You can fight with God. You can tell you. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is his own teaching. You can go and tell him why you should not take care of myself. You have given the birth. Now you have let me and going away. What is this? You have to come and help me. This prarthana. Friends, our goal is to go to that particular condition where there is no desire, only love. And there is nothing but unselfishness. And we can reach over there through the 4 paths that the Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna has given to us. This place, so quiet. At the other time, if you come and sit over here, and without anything, if you look at the picture and continuously, that will be wonderful sadhu sangha. So thank you for giving me the opportunity, and my pranam to the senior Swamijis again, and my prayer that all of us should achieve that blessed goal, Ishwar love. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Before I meet the next speaker, David Swami Amarananda Maharaj, I have a few announcements to make. You see, many of you might have brought some offerings, especially when you bring it in a plastic bags. So I have asked Gaurav to stand near the door. He will collect it and take it from the passage here and keep it for the shrine. It will be offered. And since this is a spiritual retreat, it was so quiet in the morning. So I just request all of you, if somebody has a phone on not on a silent mode, please do that. And if there is minimum disturbance of whatever nature, it will really create an atmosphere so that we can nicely listen to this wonderful Swamis who have come all the way from different continents. We won't get this done. And please remember, this is not just a celebration, it is a spiritual retreat. So please try to maintain the sanctity. For some reason, some noise is there. It's better one sits outside in the there or maybe the visitors room and then come back. And especially the plastic sound, when you bring offerings, it will be offered definitely. Please give it to Gaurav. So now, Revered Swami Amarananda Maharaj, who has kindly come for a very short visit at our request. Mainly, he has come because his batchmate in the training center, Revered Swami Tripuranji, in whose memory there will be a memorial meeting. He'll be sharing some of his reminiscences of Maharaj, but we took this opportunity to request him to speak on a very, very important topic. He's one of the senior monks of our order. Years and years of experience living in a Western country, a European country, spreading the message all over the world. So, Revered Swami Amarananda Maharaj will be speaking on a very interesting theme, inspiration from inspiring lives. Maharaj? Inspiration from
illumined souls. Okay.
Illumined souls.
Yeah.
Inspiration from illumined souls. That's one way of getting spiritual inspiration and trying to practice it in our own way. So I request Revered Swami Amarananda to begin his talk.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Respected Swamis, devotees, friends. Long years back, there was a Swami in our order. He was a scholarly Swami and he was the vice president at that time. A great scholar, Swami Omkarananda ji. He asked me, "What are you doing now?" I said, "Maharaj, I am in the Brahmachari's training center." "What do you do there?" I said, "We try to read some scriptures, try to understand them." He replied, "You need not, learn these things from teachers. You can do it yourself." You say, what you should do actually, that so long as the old haggards like me are alive, you come to us and learn the things from us. These are the scriptures. So it was very true what he said. You say, God is there, scriptures are there, and certain times, fortunately, it is also true that there is some hankering in some of us, but still we do not find the way. We cannot make progress in spiritual life. But one way is that if fortunately you come across a holy person, the Swami was talking about Sadhu Sangha, a holy person, and if you are fortunate to become close to that holy person, then certain things may happen. First of all, you have some personal problems. Those things may be solved. Then the general problem, which is for all of us, we are suffering from ignorance, spiritual ignorance. So how to cross over this, go beyond Maya, etc. Then the other things are there that you see a person tangibly before you. You can see how if he is a holy person, so he must be separate from the unholy. His manner of thinking, his ways of acting, these things will be different. So you study them and imbibe as much as possible. You see, this is how you can make progress. You see, there are people who are, from their childhood they are very advanced. You see, for example, among the disciples of Ramakrishna, especially Naga Mahashaya, Durgacharan Nag was such a person, you see. During his second visit to Sri Ramakrishna, Ramakrishna told him that, my child, you have already obtained a very high spiritual status. You see, such persons are rare. You see. But most have to struggle, and the holy persons are our guides. I shall talk today especially about two such holy persons with whom I lived. Not only I came across them, not only that I met them, I lived with them. And they have had a tremendous impression on my life. First of all, the Swami, under whom I joined in the order. You have to join the order in a certain branch or in the headquarters. So it happened to me that I joined in the Belghoria Center, which is not far away from Calcutta, city of Calcutta. So, and became close to the Swami, and he used to give me, say, almost 90 minutes per day to all my, questions, bards and apes, because I was very, very skeptic. Though idealist, but skeptic. So, and he guided me in this way. Then I began to learn about him. He told me that when he was young, that means roughly, chronologically speaking, you can take the time of the First World War. During that time, he was initiated by the Holy Mother, the Swami. And according to him, after this initiation, he became very morose. A sadness overtook him. So why sadness? Because he thought that I would become a monk, and unfortunately a lady has initiated me. This was the thought. But he said that I would not express my thought, because he noticed that all the monks at Belur Math, they respect the Holy Mother highly. So he was keeping this thought to himself, not disclosing to anybody. And in that condition, he went to a relief operation run by the Ramakrishna Mission. This was the, in mid-January every year since I think the days of Shankaracharya maybe, or even earlier, because Shankara mentions this your congregation in his shloka. Kurute Ganga Sagara Snanam, he writes. So it must be much earlier. Thousands of sadhus and pilgrims, they congregate at Ganga Sagar, where the Ganges fall into the Bay of Bengal. And naturally, a big congregation like this, you can imagine, it creates your sanitary problems. And Ramakrishna Mission, since its early days, have been doing this relief operation, and he joined this relief operation. A senior monk was there. He noticed that this boy was obedient, he was doing everything, but he was a little morose. So he took him aside and asked him, what is the matter? why are you morose? And he disclosed that it is the initiation by the Holy Mother, who is after all a lady. This monk opened his little container he had and showed him a letter written by Swami Vivekananda. It's the original letter, where Swamiji spoke highly of the Holy Mother. So he was somewhat consoled, but he said that still some doubt was in my mind. So I went to the Holy Mother to ask her certain questions. That means to test her. Idea was to test her. And Swami told me that I shall not tell you what questions I asked, what reply she gave, but from a reply I understood that she is not a common person, very uncommon person, you see. But when I saw the Swami during the last 7 years of his life. He was full of great respect for the Holy Mother, you see. So this is how his life began. I observed in the Swami certain things which were not very common. We do not find it normally. He was presiding over the activities of the Ramakrishna order in that branch, Belgharia branch, which had many, many departments, you see. And it is over a far-flung area in a semi-urban setting. These workers were there, certain workers used to live within the campus. There were student hostels, mostly poor students, very poor students. And the monastics were there. This was our family. Apart from that, there was a college attached to it where the day scholars come and they go away. So whenever he used to take notice of everyone's health, if someone would fall sick, whether he's a student or a worker or a monastic, I found that he was equally concerned for all of them. This is a very rare quality I have seen even among sadhus. So you make stratification. Another thing I found that he was very, the core things of sadhu life, he used to stick to it under all circumstances. One day I remember he asked me to take a dictation, so I began writing and he was dictating. After a few sentences, suddenly he asked me, "Where do you get this paper?" I said, "Here is a big stack of paper. I took just one sheet from it." You see, he said, "What you have done?" You see, "This is the paper which belongs to the Shilpapit, Polytechnic, and I am giving dictation for the students' home." See, there is such meticulousness in, accounting. He was concerned that, that he was dictating for the students' home, and then I have taken a sheet from the other account. Just one sheet of paper, A4 sheet. So these things I remember. Then all sadhus and brahmacharis in his days, in order, they are asked not to talk with any lady after 7 in the evening. These things I have seen, except for, this rule used to be a little slackened on the days of festivity. So he was very, very, meticulous about these things. 5 times, being the head of his, 5 times he used to sit for formal worship, I have seen, till his last day. And not only that, I saw that he was highly punctual. He used to visit someone, etc., and time is up, he used to say, now I must leave, this is the time now, etc. He used to insist like that. Very punctual. And we had a rule in those days, I do not know whether this rule still exists in that ashram. Every monastic member at 10 had to come to him and say good night with a handshake. Yes. So these were the things, I have seen in him. And regarding food habits, I saw him always, he used to take a very measured quantity of food. He used not to like that sadhus gulp, good foods like that, and when I used to be away from him, because I was not all the years with him, because I worked in other ashrams also, though 3 times I worked for that center on different occasions. He used to write to me, and very often in his letters he used to talk about bhava shuddhi. That means purity of attitude. Bhava shuddhi. He used to tell me bhava shuddhi. But the greatest thing which I learned from him is the power of prayer. He used to say that you may have difficulty in any ashram. There may be, some difference of opinion with you and the person who is running that center. And you can always, appeal to our headquarters, to Belur Math. But there is a better way, he used to say. You pray to Sri Ramakrishna. Everything will be straightened out. He used to say. So this power of prayer, I learned from him. I had very little faith in prayer. And it was my great fortune that this sadhu, he died on my lap and saw how a great man dies. Before his passing away, he was asking me to take food immediately because my food would be late. Then he was asking me, he made his gesture, fingers like this, that I am not afraid, I am the child of the mother. So, and then he passed away. So this is one Swami. And another Swami I shall talk about is Swami Ishatmananda. At least during 20 years since the inception of the Probationers Training Center in our headquarters, batches of brahmacharis were guided by him. He was the principal, Ishatmananda. I found him a wonderful sadhu, and you see, it was my great fortune, like many others, to live with him and learn many things from him. I first saw the Swami a little before Durga Puja in 1966 in Belur Math itself. He said, "You are intimate to us, and in years to come we shall become more intimate." This I did not understand, what he wanted to mean by these words. Then I understood that, you see, I learned from others that long years back he went to his guru, Mahapurush Maharaj, and said that I have come to Calcutta, but where can I have holy association? Then Mahapurush Maharaj himself wrote a letter to Swami Vivekananda and handed it over to him, that for the Holy Company. So since this, he was the founder of this Ramakrishna Mission Calcutta Students' Home, and I have come from that institution, so that's why he was saying this. After that, I saw him almost some 18 months later. I had come from our Jamshedpur center then, and was helping one of the senior Swamis who was vice president, and he was in charge of the renovation of Swamiji's building in that was the monastery building, original monastery building in Belur Math. So my duty was to just help him. Then, so we became, you see, I could, from time to time I could see him. Ishatmananda, I saw in him a wonderful combination of scholarship and sadhu life, plus a capacity to transmit spiritual values, you see. And he was a very endearing person normally, you see. When I entered the training center, very often I used to hear from him these lines: Asupter amritah kalam nayeta Vedanta chintaya. Each day, from morning till you go to bed, and thus throughout your whole life till you close your eyes finally, you should lead your life with the thoughts of Vedanta. This line he used to very often repeat to us. Once I remember I went to him with a problem. I told him, Swamiji, we are studying Vedanta, and it evaporates whatever little devotion we have in us. He looked at me and said that, look here, I had the same problem in my life. And I went to Mahapurush Maharaj. And Mahapurush Maharaj replied, what you are saying is correct, but if you understand Vedanta, then you will get joy in doing puja. And after saying this, he quoted a line from Madhusudan Saraswati, Dvaitang mohaya bodhat prak prapte bodhe manishaya bhaktarthang kalpitang dvaitam advaitat apisundaram. All dualistic practices, they are nothing but delusion before the dawn of illumination. But once, if through your spiritual talent you achieve that illumination, then this duality, which has been conceived for the sake of adoration, is sweeter than Advaita. At another time I went to the Swami with another problem. It was the time when Bengal was everywhere disturbed with the Nakshal movement. So we brahmacharis by turn had to guard the main temple of Belur Math. So I went to the Swami, Swami, I have a theological problem. It is said that God protects us. Why should we go to protect the God? He looked at me and said, he quoted from Udyoga Parva of Mahabharata. Vidura saying to Dhritarashtra, he is saying, Nadeva Dannamadaya Rakshanti Pashupalavat Yanghi Rakshitam Ichanti Sadbuddhya Yojayantitam. That gods do not come to us with a baton in a hand to guide us and protect us. Those who are protected by them, they are given that they are endowed with good intelligence. So that means, what he wanted to convey is that in ordinary life, you should use your common sense. He used to take our class on Vedanta Sara, a very well-known text. It is the first text which came to the notice of Christians, Vedanta text. So there is an Adhikari Sutra, and in that sutra there are very, very long words. For example, Nitta Naimittika Praschitupasana, etc. This is one word, you see. So wholly it is a 20-word composition, this sutra. And he used to ask each brahmachari to recite it. Those who could do it, he used to be very happy with them. That means he used to harp on this, that you must understand who is a fit person. Adhikari means fit. Who is the fit person to understand Vedanta? Now, it is true that though he was a loving person, my time is almost out. I shall take 2 minutes more. So, he used to speak about the great Swamis. Most of them had become presidents or Firstly, he began with Swamiji. He used to say that one day Swamiji was milking a she-goat, and one young man was going up the stairs of the old shrine in Belur. And the she-goat was jumping, and it was difficult to milk it. So Swamiji said, "Hello, idiot, come here and give me a hand." He did it, but he was very sorry that Swamiji rebuked him in this way. So Swamiji noticed it, and he placed his hand on the shoulder of this young boy and said that, "Don't be sorry, Nama and Rupa, they are false." Another occasion he talked about Swami Suddhanandaji. He was reading from the Mundak Upanishad, Atas Samudra Grascha Sarve, etc. That is from this Brahman, your oceans and mountains have come, etc. And Swami Suddhananda was making a sound, that means he was very uncomfortable. So he explained that his conception of Vedanta was not tallying with this vision. That's why he was doing like this. Regarding Swami Vishuddhanandaji, who was also one of our presidents, he used to quote Swami Vishuddhanandaji saying that you should practice your spiritual japa and dhyana, etc., in such a way, so intensely, that every cell of the body must be spiritualized. Regarding Madhavanandaji, he used to tell that whenever he used to go, because he was the General Secretary for many years, so any your problem concerning your work, activity, etc., he used to give very rapid answer. But if it was a spiritual question, then he used to give much time. He used to talk for several minutes, which were very rare for a General Secretary. And so this was, but the Swami had also humor in him. Once a senior Swami came to him and asked him in Sanskrit, "King sarve antevasina, king shuka iva nirgandha?" He immediately replied, pointing his fingers to the lotuses nearby, "Prasputitan kokonadan pashyasi nava?" Means the question was that, are your students are all without any flavor, like the Palasha flower? So he said that, "Don't you see the lotuses in bloom?" So here I end my talk. So he was a great soul. He was suffused with this idea. Even when he used to be sick, I used to tell him certain times, "Maharaj, you are sick today, so let us have the class dropped." He said that, "Don't make this request. When I talk about Vedanta, I feel okay."